Welcome to Frontier Flash. This week, we're examining what's arguably the most concentrated period of real-world robotics deployment the industry has seen. Not announcements, not demos, actual machines, in actual environments, doing actual work. The question isn't whether humanoid robots are coming, it's whether the infrastructure around them is maturing fast enough to match the hardware. Let's start with the deployment inflection. For years, robotics previews at events like CES were carefully choreographed proof-of-concept moments. CES 2026 broke that pattern. Multiple humanoid platforms, including Robotics' third-generation 4NE1 and EngineAI's T800, weren't just demonstrated. They came with production timelines, commercial customers, and price points. EngineAI confirmed a starting price around $25,000 with first shipments targeted for mid-year. Boston Dynamics Atlas appeared on 60 Minutes performing structured tasks at Hyundai's manufacturing facility near Savannah, Georgia. Agility Robotics Digit is already operating in commercial logistics environments. The shift is incremental but real. The industry is moving its conversations from capability to reliability. From what a robot can do in a lab to what it can sustain across a shift. The second development worth tracking is the emergence of foundation models purpose-built for physical AI. In January, Google DeepMind announced it would integrate its Gemini robotics foundation models directly into Boston Dynamics' Atlas platform. In the same period, Microsoft introduced a robotics model derived from its Phi series, a vision language action model designed to help robots perceive, reason, and act across variable environments with less task-specific retraining. This matters because it addresses one of the core bottlenecks in deployment: generalization. Robots trained narrowly for one task fail when the environment shifts. Foundation models trained across diverse sensory inputs offer a path toward robots that adapt rather than break. Whether this translates cleanly from benchmark to factory floor remains an open empirical question. But the architectural direction is now clearly committed. The third signal comes from China. At the Lunar New Year Spring Festival Gala, 24 humanoid robots performed a coordinated martial arts sequence, including what was reported as the first continuous freestyle. Table vaulting parkour, and multiple aerial flips by bipedal machines. The performance drew significant international attention, but the more structural story sits behind it. UBTECH has shipped over 500 units of its Walker S2 humanoid, reaching a total of 1,000 produced. China has set explicit national production targets for humanoid robotics as part of a broader industrial strategy. The competitive pressure this creates on Western developers is not theoretical. Taken together, these three threads, commercial deployment at scale, foundation model integration, and China's production ramp, suggest the robotics sector has crossed a threshold. Not of science fiction, but of logistics. The challenge now is less about proving that robots can do the task and more about whether the support systems, the software stacks, the maintenance cycles, and the business models can hold up over time. Caveats are warranted. Reliability data from real-world deployments is sparse and largely proprietary. Published performance figures often come from controlled conditions. Foundation model generalization has shown promise in research settings, but faces compounding challenges in unstructured environments. And the labor and regulatory implications of rapid scaling remain genuinely unresolved, with international frameworks still in early formation. Looking ahead, the most meaningful signal to watch is not the next impressive demo. It's cycle time and uptime data from facilities already running humanoids at scale. If Atlas, at Hyundai, Digit in warehouses, and Walker S2 in Chinese manufacturing lines begin producing verifiable throughput numbers, the investment and deployment curve will accelerate sharply. The technology is no longer waiting for a breakthrough. It's waiting for proof that it doesn't break. That's your Frontier Flash briefing for this week. We keep the signal clean so you don't have to filter the noise. Subscribe for weekly analytical coverage of the developments actually shaping the frontier. See you next week.